Hello everyone, welcome to this new series where I will show the process of making a character for Touhou 12.3 using the new character engine I made. So in this one I'm going to make Mamizou, though for this video specifically it's mostly going to be some setup. So everything that's needed and how to install everything and set it up. So for that one you will need basically, so first of all you will need the character engine on GitHub like this. You have a lot of information about this already and I'm going to mostly follow that. So as said here, you will need CMake, Git, VisualStudio, though we will obviously need the game. You will also need the Framedata editor, and I'm going to use Soku2 because some part of the engine is not ready yet. For example, the deck construction is not fully ready, and it's going to be way easier to use Soku2, so I also provided a link to the Soku2 Discord because I don't know if a new update is going to come out, so I don't want to change that link all the time. And I also provided the Soku2 add-on for the character engine. It's going to be easier to install it that way. So I have everything downloaded and installed already. So I have the game here with the new Soku launcher, and I have basically everything. No, not here. Here. But I think everything else you should have something like this. So CMake, VisualStudio setup, Git, and the Framedata editor Soku2 and the Soku2 add-on. So I already installed everything. I'm just going to show the ones that are a bit different. So for VisualStudio, you will have this. So you should when you come, you should have something like this open already. And what you want to pick is that one, C++ desktop development. And you don't need to check everything here. You just keep the default and you click on install here. And then it will install everything as needed. For Soku2, I just... oh, I didn't install Soku2. So basically you just go here to module, Soku2, just copy that one. And the Soku2 add-on, you should have this, and once that's done, here, just grab everything, put it in there. Yes, you replace, and that's it. You should be ready. Then in the launcher, you will need to enable Soku2. So here, edit, mod, and it's Soku2. So that one. You don't need to check anything else. And then you should have working Soku2 with Touhou currently. Maybe the link I sent already has Mamizou. Who knows? If my game wants to open, right? So this is for Windows. I'm going also to have a Linux part later, though all of this is pretty similar. Yeah, there we go. So that's the start. I also installed Shady Loader. I just went here and downloaded the Shady Loader. Now I have it. I use it because it's easier to modify the files. So then to build a new character, you will go here and go to VisualStudio and you grab the x86 native tools. then you can just create a new folder. I already have everything set up here, but just for the sake of completeness, I'm going to do it. You type cd and then you just drag and drop, and you are here. And now you can go here and you just copy and paste everything. It's right click to paste in the console. So it's going to download and set up everything. I don't know why it's so slow. So, okay, let me just cancel that. Yeah, so obviously it doesn't work. So when everything is done, you should have a folder like this build. And I'm just going to go there instantly. So you will have this command already here like this. You press it, it will do something like this. There will be more. It's less because I already have some. And then you can copy that line here. And you replace it with the character you want to build. So for example, for Touhou, it would be Touhou. And it's going to show it like this. Like for example, I did it for Mamizou. So it's going to take some time before it's done. And then when it's done, you should have in build source character. So for example, Mamizou, you should have Mamizou.dll here. So that's the file for the character. So then usually I link that file directly there, so I don't have to copy it all the time. So I would do, okay, there is a bit too much. So here FDE. So in Soku modules, Soku2, characters, then you just create a new folder for the character you want, Mamizou. Then you take the one from Touhou, you just paste everything here, and then you don't need the dat, and you don't need the character, and you don't need the DLL either. The rest is fine. Then in here, so we want, I could just copy this DLL here, but then I would need, like every time you change the code, you will have to do this again. It will recreate the new DLL, and then you would have to copy it, and if you forget, it's going to be a nightmare. So usually what I do is I just link the two files together. So you can do this. You CMD, here you need to open it as administrator. Then you go here, and then you can type this. I'm going to, again in the description, put a template of the command, so it's Mamizou.dll, because that's the one I want. And then you copy the link to this. So basically this, and then Mamizou.dll. And then you should create one that is called a .symlink, like this, but it has the little icon for shortcuts. And then you will want to copy also the character.json from the character. So here, you also need to make sure that in here it said enabled true, otherwise it won't load. But that should be ideally made here too. So let me do it here as well. There we go. So now the character should be able to like register properly. The game should find it, but it won't find the assets for the character. So if I demonstrate it, just run default. So see, it's here, but I just have a white square because it cannot find the files. So once you got the Framedata running, you will want to go here to settings, and the extra assets. You can go and add the folder for your character. So again, for me it's going to be Mamizou. So here, Mamizou, open folder. And then if you save, you should be able to see it from the list. So here, though for some reason it doesn't work, it always have this error. So what you want to do instead is use from file, and then go to your character again here. For me it's Mamizou, and you will need to select the XML file, which is here. XML file here. So for Mamizou I don't have any assets, so it's going to be just a white square. And then when you want to export again, same, so you go export Framedata to file, and you just replace the file here. XML, and then you replace it. For the changes to work in-game, so with the changes to the we made to the character engine, now it shows in-game, but the assets are not working. So I just use shady loader to link the assets from here. So what you want to do is again, like the other one, open a command prompt as administrator. Then go to the shady folder by pressing CD and right click, like this. And then you will do the same command, mklink, though you need the /d. I will put the command like under the other one, and you name it out however you want. That one doesn't really matter. It's just going to be that name that's going to be displayed. To see if it worked, you should have something like this. If you double click on it, you should see the same thing as the other one. If you create something, it should also show in the other view. And then if you go in shady loader, you do this, you enable the module, and now it should probably register like this. The only the upside of doing this is that when you change the files, it will be reflected in game instantly. Though shady loader will not pick up on new files you create. So every time you do create a new file, you will need to go back to the list, disable your module, and then enable it again. And then it will just pick up the new files. So that should be it for Windows. So let's see for Linux. So for the Linux part, so the idea is basically the same. So you'll need to install Soku2. So again, you go there. If you don't plan on using Linux, you're basically done. You don't really have to do anything else. So for Linux, you can either do it directly on Linux or the way I did it basically for the start of this video, where you just make a virtual machine with Windows on it and basically do it just as if you were on Windows. On Linux, the hardest part is getting the VisualStudio compiler. So if you're on Arch Linux, which is the case for me, you can from the AUR get msvc wine, like this, that one. I just installed it and it worked out of the bat. I don't know if it's going to be the case for you. And if you're not on Arch Linux, I don't even know how to install it, though I'm assuming you would do it from the GitHub, wine msvc, yeah, that one. Basically follow that guide and try it from here. So on my machine, the msvc wine is installed here, and there is a CMake portion that's going to come into play later. So for Soku2, you basically do the same. Soku2, then you grab the Soku2 add-on, and you copy everything in there. Though beware, because on Linux, files with, like you see, you have two Soku2.dll here. You need to remove the one that is in full caps, like this. And otherwise, it's the same. Then you just open the launcher and you enable. I misclicked. Oh, okay. I guess that doesn't work. Broke everything by mistake. Yeah, here. So in mod, and in mod you go to Soku2 and you enable that. Save. There we go. So yeah, you should basically have the same. So a classic Soku2 with CharacterEngine on it. And you will also need shady loaders. So then here, you will. Yeah, let me actually just. I'm just going to do everything here. So here you just copy everything but the last line. So you open the terminal and like this. There we go. And now for the last line, you want to do CMake. So again, I'm going to put in the description the command line -d CMake build type debug. And then you will need to provide the file that is called the toolchain inside msvc wine. CMake toolchain file. And for me, it's in opt msvc CMake toolchain, and it's toolchain x96.cmake. And if you do this, it should properly put everything. And then same command to run to compile the character. So for me, it's going to be Mamizou again. Sometimes you get a weird error because of msvc wine. If you just run the command again, it just goes away. I don't really know what's up. So here in source character Mamizou, I have my DLL like this, and now I want to add it to the game. So I'm going to go to characters, copy Touhou, rename it Mamizou. I remove character.json, Touhou.dat and Touhou.dll. And in here, I'm going to create a link to the DLL I just built. The command is going to be in the description. And it's like this. Mamizou.dll. So it's here, like this. I just do this. Ooh. Okay, yeah. So I have my DLL here, and I also need the character.json, which is here. Characters, Mamizou. So I have my character.json here. I'm just going to copy it with the interface. So it's here. Character Mamizou, character.json. Again, you need to make sure that the enabled part is set to true, so that it shows properly. And then, when you have this, if you open the game, okay, does that one work? So yeah, it should show up like this with a white square because it cannot find the assets. So then I use a shady loader to inject the assets inside the game like this. So you want to go into yeah, okay, I was at the right place. So here, and you want to create a new link to that folder. So that one doesn't matter. Mamizou, I'm going to call it, and then it's to this. So it's probably showing up. And now inside the game, if you go to the loader menu, you should have it. You enable it, and now it should work. There we go. Now for the Framedata editor, there is no Linux version for that one. So I provide a Windows version, but I don't provide a Linux version. So you have two options. Either you run the Windows version using Wine. I tried it, it works fine. So Framedata editor and that one. So if I just run it like this, it just works properly. Otherwise, you can try and compile it yourself. So I'm going to show how I would do it on my computer. Though again, it's going to be maybe a bit different on yours. So you create a build folder, then you go inside, and you want to run CMake ..d. I'm going to put a comment in the description if you want to copy and paste. CMake build type release. And then it's going to do all of that. There we go. And then once it's done, you do again the comment in the description under CMake --build .target Framedata editor --j. How is it called? With a T? Yeah, like this. And then it should basically do all this, and then it should generate Linux executable that you can run. In here, it's going to take a while. While that's doing, you want to copy the assets folder from the repository inside your build folder, like this. And then if you run it, it should work like this. And should be the right version. So for the assets, so mine is already pre-configured, but I'm going to show it. So you want to, like this, go inside your folder. So it's, where is it? It's here, yeah. So it's not that one, that one. No, never mind, it's that one. Yeah, so you want to take that one and write it in there, open folder. So it should add itself inside this line. And when you save, you should be able to see it in, okay, I forgot the palette again. There otherwise doesn't really like it. So now it should, yeah, so now I have Mamizou here, but again you cannot run it from here. It's basically like on Windows. You will need to go here into import from file and then provide this file. And now you have your file proper. So I don't have the assets, so it's all white, but whatever. And then when you want to, you can make your changes, go back to here and export it. Note that you don't need to restart your game. You just need to go back to character select and go back in. And yeah, with all that, it should be all set. And so you will need to do like the shady loader and copying the files over every time you create a new character. But other than that, it's all good. Thanks for watching and see you later.